Came in this joint all black. Stealth. I don't need to be seen. I don't need to bring no attention to me. 27 and starving. Bars been climbing up cause it ain't no mountain high enough like Marvin. You see plaid, I see tartan. The perception sharpen, the message darken. Had writer's block so long, I forever disrespect the margins. Bless the targets on the wall with that pen on Martin score. Stacey Drew seen so clear before there was an HD. Had green before an AC. I hear them stories you make up so much I thought you was employed by Sephora lately. Say cheese, I'm great team. This microphone a plate thing in your hands, but in mine, rappers I started grading. MD's the turf, you can tell from the shirt down to the lacing. Too short a time I got on earth to spend it skirt chasing. This where the east, west, north and the south connect. Spit it till I'm out of breath, get it till I'm out of debt. Critics might as well rib it, I can't even tell the difference. I gotta be the rap what Dave Chappelle, the skittin' or Patti LaBelle. The kitchen's everything displayed is soulful. I really go
Check
outside.
it out, we back. Episode 37 of the Randy Wilson Podcast. I'm your host, Randy Wilson. This podcast is being brought to you on YouTube and all podcast channels. Also, check out randywilsonpodcast.com. You can learn more about the podcast. You can see some of the former guests. And check it out. If you have any interest in being a part of the podcast, you can email me at rwilsonpodcast@gmail.com. Yo, phenomenal guest tonight. Phenomenal guest. I'm going to get into the intro, at least the intro on behalf of how I become familiar and aware of Trademark, but also definitely excited because I want you guys to be able to hear his story and kind of, learn more about him as an artist, the type of artist he is. I want us to talk about the journey that he's been on in his art. But let me get into the intro. So let me get into talking. First off, I learned about I first seen Trademark and heard him rap at the RVA Rap Elite the first time. Actually, let me take that back. I seen him at the RVA Rap Elite, but I heard him on the internet first, and so then I seen him, and I didn't even realize at the time, I didn't realize that he was coming from Maryland to Richmond to compete in the RVA Rap Elite, which, by the way, Trademark won the first season. It was the first season, correct? First season. He won the first season belt, which means out of all the different months throughout that year, he won the majority of them. He won, he took it on. So I learned him that way, and then I started realizing we had a mutual friend who he's known for a long time, Chris Randolph, and I started learning about who he is as an artist. And interesting artist. One of the things I feel like that's impressive about Trademark is that he, I think his bio said it best. So let me just use the words. The bio said, worldview, sonic eclecticism, and unwavering, deeply rooted faith. And I want to emphasize on faith because I don't see Trademark as a Christian rapper. And I've seen that label around his name and a few things, but I don't see him as a Christian rapper. I see him as a rapper that's a Christian. And that's something I kind of want to talk with you about because I think for some people, it definitely benefits them to have that label, Christian rapper, because then you go to that label to listen to those artists. But the thing about you is that you're just a really good artist. And that's a Christian. And I think that there's a lot of other artists out there, Trey, that are really good artists as Christians too, but they don't get that. So I want to talk to you a little bit about that because when you listen to his music, it has a very uplifting, deep intellectual, thought-provoking. I see him really as, if you're thinking about an artist or you're thinking about an athlete, somebody who's just graceful and or dancing or just crossing, you know what I'm saying? Like, he takes you back. Look, TR3 had a chance. He had an encounter with J-Elect. We're going to talk about this also. He actually had 2 encounters with J-Elect. And I found that interesting through your journey, how just going through, you're like, that's really coincidental, or it's fate. That's an interesting path there that you've had. Been an artist, I can, based off my research, I see 10 active years steady. How long have you been in your art?
I've been actually rapping since 2005.
Okay, so you talking about 15.
2005. Yeah, but I started putting it together on records in 2010.
Okay. All right. PG County, that's home?
Yes. Yes, sir.
So we're gonna talk about all of that.
Yes.
I want to start right here, Trey. I want to start right here. You have been an artist putting it together, focused 10 consistent, steady years.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me about the journey for you as an artist over that span of time and staying consistent, adamant about your correct, being the best at your craft and not being negatively affected by not being what other people's perception of you is, I guess, in the limelight. You know what I'm saying? You haven't technically made it maybe in some areas as people see success, but other areas, like let's talk about that, because 10 years is a long time as an artist. And I'm going to ask you this because I feel like a lot of artists get to a certain part of their journey where they look at them, so they're like, well, I'm 30. It ain't, you know what I'm saying? And then they lose that creative space. But we're seeing artists right now, particularly when you look at the Griseldas and just people, we're still seeing people who can strike their piece at what. So talk to me about your journey. I was winded right there. But I really want.
No, it's fine.
My approach to this podcast, I want to get you talking. You know what I'm saying? And
no, for sure.
Let's talk journey.
It is. I will say it is a daunting task to go over 10 years in depth, but I will attempt to do so. So if I can basically say how I started out, then we have to go all the way back to just me being 7, 8 years old and loving music, loving hip hop, loving R&B, loving soul, loving gospel. Okay. So that's the start right there. The start is my mom buying me The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill at 8 years old, and that just playing into so when you're between 1st and 6th grade, those are your formative years, right? A lot of the concepts of life, you're taking it all in, and then that's going to be your foundations for your understanding as you go on in life. To hear a sister like Lauryn Hill, 8, and she's just going through all these topics and stuff, it was just incredible. And at that point, I don't see anybody in my neighborhood or anything that's rapping. The people that were rapping back then, they either lived in New York or they were in the South or they were in the West Coast. Nobody was in the DMV doing it. DMV was on go-go. So, but as I went on, I always just still kept loving music. Once I got to 9th grade, my cousin, Young Champion, and he also has been on the RVA Rap Elite stage and the Lyricist Lounge stage. And he was rapping a little bit before I was. We're the same age. We grew up like literally since the crib together. We're the same age, and that's my number one guy, And he sent me a message on Black Planet, actually, right? I'm dating myself now. So he sent me a message on Black Planet, and he was dissing me. So mind you, at this time, we're listening to like Cassidy. I'm just starting to be able to process punchlines at this point. So Cassidy, Lloyd Banks, Fabulous, Joe Budden, right? and he sends me this diss to me, right? He's just going in on me and stuff, right? I'm like, man, hold on, like, why are you dissing me? And he was like, nah, man, just write a response back. I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, I don't rap. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, man, I'm telling you, man, just write a response back. I don't know. He was just hungry. He was like battling on online boards and everything. And so I wrote one back, right? And I did like a different version of Pac's song from Pac's line from Hail Mary. And he had a girl who, and we're not gonna say her name or nothing, but he had a girl at the time, and I was like, I started it out. I said, I ain't a killer, but don't push me. Revenge is like the sweetest joy next to his girls. You know what I'm saying? So I said that first line, and maybe did like 15 more bars, and then he was like, hey, like, why did you have to do that? So I will say this: the very first line that I ever spit was a diss line. You know, it was a battle bar. It was a battle bar, and
you never done that before.
You
had never done that before.
Nah.
You never had rap out publicly or toward, you never exercised that skill set.
No, nope.
So was the first 15 bars?
All I did was writing it online.
Was it fire?
Yeah, no, it was that. I mean, the first line, I was like, yeah, what I said? I said, I was like, I ain't a killer, but don't push me. Revenge is like the sweetest joy next to your girl. And I said her name next to a pussy, you know. Mm-hmm. And then I just kept going. I don't remember what the rest of it was, but we started going back and forth a little bit, and he was the one that really, like, I was always admiring how good he was at rapping, and I just love that feeling of putting words together and putting concepts together, you know, to tell, you know, just not even tell stories at that point, but just to brag on a track, you know, in a clever way.
Gotcha.
And through high school, I always kept it to myself and maybe to like my close friends.
Mm-hmm.
It never showed itself on a public stage until I got to college. And when I got to college, I did an open mic at that point, and I was doing topics. You know, it was going to either be about love or it was going to be about the legacy of Black people in this nation and across the world. Those were always like my go-to topics. Mm-hmm. You know? And I'm always going to have my faith in it because they're just so interconnected with those topics. So GMU, that's when I start really start to record. Mm-hmm. And actually I got forced into the booth actually by my line brother. Okay. So my line brother, he knew he was working on campus, like with the sound equipment and everything. And he was saying, look, the stuff that you're spitting is crazy. Like, you have to put this on on wax. And he probably didn't use that word. That's just me being all hip hop saying it. But he was like, yeah, you got to do it. And that's when I started putting together what would become my project, Everybody Has a Mixtape. And that's when I first started my first mixtape.
Okay.
That was 2010.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So let me ask, so still, I want you to continue to go forward though on the fact that, how old are you now?
How old?
Yeah.
29.
29. So not first one was at 19. You've obviously evolved and changed as an artist. You've had the ability in 10 years to experience the internet. Yeah. You've also been fairly well traveled, if I'm correct, because I think you've been able to I feel like you've been able to express yourself through your art in different parts of the country. And so speak a little bit about your experiences in regard to over the 10 years. I opportunities that you've been presented or things that you've experienced, shoulders that you rubbed. Speak a little bit to that journey, because there's a lot of things that can happen in 10 years. And, you know, you done had a couple of encounters with J-Elect. There's a few other things I'm familiar with. I don't want to say them, you know what I'm saying? But I know there's a lot of things and a lot of, to speak to some of that.
Well, after that mixtape came out, and I did that with my guy, Devin, Deadstock Dev, who I still work with to this day. He produced the first and last track on the True project. We were putting out mixtapes. So in college, I put out 3 mixtapes, like in a 21-month span. And so and then in college I actually then I put out my 4th one right when I graduated from college, and that was the Bullets Have No Names mixtape. I met Chris during that time. So during 2012 is when I met Chris. We had I didn't know him too well, but we met through a mutual friend of ours named Buddy, and we just really just hit the ground running, started doing videos and started recording. I recorded another mixtape called Oktoberfest, and we've always known that we wanted to have this independent, organic. We don't want anybody to really mess with the content kind of approach, because that's key. I'm a very expressive person. I have very strong emotions and strong movements, and I speak in a very forward manner. So if I'm doing something that is not naturally in me, then it's gonna show. And over the course of these 10 years, I've been able to see for myself, okay, if I was trying to do this, then that didn't really work, right? So I've just known to stay true. We started doing competitions, and I was winning these competitions and stuff in DC and in Northern Virginia. We went to New York City. We went to LA, and I was winning all of them. Okay.
All of them. Stunt. All of them.
Yeah.
Dang.
All of them. So, and these were competitions where it was like 20 different rappers on stage doing it for 10 minutes. And I would just come through with just some no hook, just spit bars at a rapid rate. Give you something where you could hear that I'm not just rapping fast. I can still give you content. And over time, once I went to LA, I was like, okay, I would like to live out here, but I don't know it too well. So I went out, actually, when I graduated from college, I actually moved out to LA like a few months after that, right? And I was kind of frustrated after I graduated from college, because the same talks that people give me now and stuff, people were saying to me back then, like, I was getting the, oh man, like, yo, you're one of the greatest people that I've ever heard in my life. And what's going on? Like, how come you're not on? And somebody got to sign you, and somebody has to do this and that. And it would just get so frustrating when this world really, it kind of can reduce your worth to just your material success. And I would be lying if I told you that it didn't get to me, right? So I would get frustrated and stuff. I was like, man, you know what, man, forget this whole area. Like, I'm just going out to California, and that's what I'm gonna do. So that's what I did. I went out to LA, and I pretty much got involved in a situation with a brother out there who's in my fraternity, and we were basically taking the more meet with the labels kind of approach, and just show them the talent and see if they'll invest. And nobody was really trying to invest even though everybody, I'm telling you, I was going to Sony, I was going to Warner, Interscope, like everybody was saying, yo, the talent's undeniable. But we at the labels, what we do is we're not breaking artists anymore. Like we're not gonna put the promo dollars to build you anymore. We're taking only people that have crazy social media followings, right? That was hard for me because I'm like, man, I'm not the most public person. Like I don't like just sharing my whole everything. Like, oh, I ate this for breakfast today, and for dinner, and this we're partying at right now, and here's the location. Nah, I'm like, I don't do all that. So that was always real hard for me. And then when I like tried to be more social media, I actually cringed looking back on that time.
It sucks that right now that to make it, again, first off, let me, before I even go there, I think with evolution in hip hop and music and period, you don't need a label to make it, you know, you have the ability to be the artist, you know what I'm saying, the chief distributor of how you decide to put music on music platforms or whatever, you know, hard copy industry, whatever. So you don't need a label, but what the label did and does, it basically just provides the package. And, you know, it's interesting. It's like right now, artists who end up getting signed to big labels have not only big following, but through that following, they got big bucks too that they're coming to the table with, whether it's from the street, whether it's from drugs. I hate to say drugs, but it's typically not any, like they're coming with like a bit, you know, it ain't like you see lawyers come to the table and become, and who can, I'm sure can rap, you know, or teachers. There's all kind of people who can rap, but most of the time you're seeing someone who they market came from nothing to something, but they didn't really come with nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can name 20 artists right now that has something to really give, who may have a 9-to-5 and nothing to leverage with a label. So that, you know, so that's unfortunate. And I guess over, you know, as you evolve as an artist, you deal with those situations. So you've met with you met with the labels, you tried that route. Tell me how on the flip side, now that you don't have to be quote unquote public with social media, but you can DM and you can have private conversations and you can market yourself. You ain't got to say nothing. You can just put out a freestyle. By the way, he put out 100 freestyles, not freestyles. He put out 100. I don't know if you call them freestyles or what, but he put out 100 of them in 100 days in a row. I need to go check that out. But then, you know, when you do that, you have people who see that, share that, like that. He's had viral activity. Let me add that. He's been viral. But you know what I'm saying? That stuff happens. And when that stuff happens, now you ain't got to be public about what you can do. You can be private. Right. So how's that? What's that experience been like since social media's taken off?
Just in terms of trying to navigate between being public and private.
Well, trying to navigate through hip hop and through you continuing to obtain and meet your goals with your art.
Yeah.
Not so much about the public, more so about you, like how you're able to navigate using social media. Yeah. Whether you do things publicly or you do things privately, you still are able to meet your needs as an artist.
Right. Yeah. Social media is definitely a blessing for any artist that wants to remain true to their content and just continuously put out music direct to consumer.
By the way, what's your most recent album?
True.
Okay, yeah. I made y'all, you know, you say true a lot. True.
Yeah. You said I say
you
true.
Say true a lot. I've heard it. You said
that. That's the thing.
It's obviously something to you. Truth is important.
Man, this is the thing though. Before 2 Chainz was saying this, we grew up in PG saying, "Oh, true." Like how people say, like how New York says, "Oh, word." Yeah. Like be like true. Yeah. Like I've always just said that my whole life, and I think it's just the perfect title to just really say, hey, look, I'm not trying to give you like a bunch of bells. I'm true to myself, and I'm just encouraging anybody else that listens to this, always remain authentic and remain you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's it. And with the stuff that I talk about, I mean, it has to be true because not everybody is trying to listen to what's going on in the world, what's going on in relationships, what's going on in my relationship with God, and how I feel about the world, and how I feel about how God feels about me, and how I have a burden to contribute to changing the world, and just trying to navigate that, and trying to do the right thing, but still having sin in me and being sin, so that's nobody, it'll rack your brain just trying to process that.
Yeah.
It's much easier to talk about sex, money, drugs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why not? It's appealing to all humans,
Yeah.
right? Christian or non-Christian. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just think that there's just so much more in really wrestling with what is going on in the world, and the struggles of this world.
Do you consider yourself a Christian rapper?
I've always hated the term Christian rapper. I've always hated it. But I don't want to be the type to be on a campaign about saying how I'm not a Christian rapper, because I am those words, but I'm just not the words in that order. See, this is what the industry does. They will be like, okay, we have to categorize this. We have to categorize this. What's your sound? Oh, well, you have really impressive vocals and you can sing in falsetto. Well, we're going to say you're the next Mariah Carey, right? So so then we could say, if you like Mariah Carey, then you'll like this person, right? So then they'll look at me and be like, wait, we don't know what to brand this as, right? Because if you're not just one thing, then you're everything. And the only stores that are everything have put years and years and billions of dollars into their marketing. Target, Walmart, these are one-stop shops, okay? But everybody knows their name though, because of the work that they put in and the money that's been put into it, right? And labels are like, yeah, we're not trying to put that money behind you.
Yeah.
So it'd be better off if we just say, okay, if you like tacos, this is like Chipotle. Or if you like burritos, it's like Chipotle, right? So we're not gonna say, oh, like Trademark is this rapper who is a jack of all trades and no pun intended, in all styles of hip hop, whether it's East, West, Southern, North. He can rock on a go-go beat. He can do a record. He can do a conscious record. He can do both and at the same time, like Outkast. He can do all of that. They wouldn't want to say that. They would just rather say, oh, he's a Christian rapper. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna hit it.
Market to the Christian base.
I'm gonna hit it right on the head. I feel that when the whole issue, I agree with you on the. I don't like the category or genre of Christian rapper. Mm-hmm. I don't have a problem with rap music that has spiritual content. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But like the reason why I feel like there are Christians, there are rappers that are Christians, you know. Yeah. There are rappers that are Christians that are on everyone's Spotify list, on the radio. You know what I'm saying? Right. First off, you gotta get to like, what is a Christian? And believe in God. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now there's levels to it. I mean, there's levels to people's growth in their own, spirituality, but there's levels to music too. And I feel like the reason why the Christian rap category has somewhat of a, I don't want to say negative, I'm just going to say that Look,
It does.
it's been
There's a stigma
whack.
to it.
Most Christian rap has been whack because it's been artists who took the opportunity to say, I'm gonna fall under this genre.
Yeah.
You know, but their skill set wasn't even competitive in any other genre. So they made Christian rap bad because they had to break. I mean, there's a lot of whack rappers that contributed to breaking the curve of Christian rap beginning to get attention. Once it started getting attention, it's like, ooh, no wonder nobody listened to y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, we don't talk about gospel music and any other thing other than gospel music. And gospel music can have all different types of music in it. It could have, it could have a guitar, it could have a drum, it could have rock, it could be all kind of ways. But it's gospel music. Why can't when we put Christian and rap together, you can be Christian, but if you can't rap, then you're messing up this genre lane.
Yeah, and I've always felt that way too. I didn't grow up listening to Christian rap. Matter of fact, to be honest, I still don't. Because and that's no diss. I respect what they're doing and stuff. But I mean I just don't. And it's partially because when I was growing up, Christian rap artists were always trying to sound like other rap artists. They were trying to like non-Christian rap artists. And we all have influences. Like I have my influences and everything, but like God said in his word to sing a new song. He said to sing a new song. So that's what I always want to do is give you a new style, a new perspective, a new flow. I want to make sure that this is me. We as Christian, and when I say I'm a Christian, that literally means you're a little Christ. I'm somebody that is flawed and sinful, and all I'm trying to do is be like Christ. That's it. Mm-hmm. And I'm a fall, and I'm a cuss and do whatever, not liberally, but it's going to happen just because I'm in a flawed body.
Yeah.
But this spirit inside of me that I believe that Jesus has given me, okay, is like my driving force. It is my guide in life, right? And then I'm gonna read the word to get to feed myself spiritually, and then I'm gonna pray so that I can talk with God. These are my beliefs, right? And this is not knocking anybody else's beliefs. It's just what I believe, right? So when it comes to rap, it's just like if it was somebody who was a plumber, right? If you're a plumber, you're gonna just be the best plumber you can, and that's your job as a Christian who's a plumber, right? You're not gonna basically go around and be like, "Hey guys, I'm the Christian plumber," right? Right? And he or she shouldn't be labeled as such, right? So same with rap. If rap is a skill and a gift that God has given me, then that's all I'm here to do is just be the absolute best that I can, so I can represent the force that has created me.
So before I go into the question, I'm gonna intro it by saying, asking you, what do you think about JLX's new album?
J Electronica.
The new album.
A Written Testimony.
Yes.
Love it.
You love it?
Yeah, I love it. But, and that's another thing too. How come nobody says, "Oh, J Electronica is a Muslim rapper"? Nobody ever says that. But if you say Jesus though, then okay, you're the Christian rapper. You're the Christian rapper. Nobody ever says Lupe is a Muslim rapper, right? Nobody ever calls Action Bronson a Jewish rapper, right? Everybody just says, "Oh, he said Jesus, he's a Christian rapper, right?"
No, these last two pieces are definitely going to be cut worthy. You know what I'm saying? We cropping these are some valuable pieces. So Chris, check that. These are valuable pieces. But go ahead, because that's you kind of hit where I'm gonna go. I want to know what you think about the album. I mean,
J-Elect Okay, so that album, I've been a JLEC fan for years. So JLEC he put out a really good album, in my opinion, because it's soulful, it's clever, um, and he's still keeping it New Orleans, like he's still repping where he's from. Um, and I appreciate the reverence that he has for his faith and how he's staying on just on topic like that, and still and not trying to preach to people, but just saying, hey, look, I am here and this is my purpose and this is what I plan on doing, and that's what he did. So
Okay.
I especially like that song, Ghost of Soldier Slim. I like that.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite one on the album.
Yeah. They came in
So
hard on that.
if you had the opportunity to do an album with all the amenities that Jay Elect had, being with Rock Nation, would you have been cool? Would you wanted Hove to be on as many tracks, or do you feel like that takes away anything from the body of? Well, I'm not gonna say the body of work. I'm just gonna say the value of this project, because it has a lot of Hove, which, by the way, favorite artist ever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, every artist out there wish they had as many songs with Hove as he does.
Right.
But what's your take on that part?
Oh, on him and having, I don't think it's bad, because Raekwon had Ghostface on almost every song on the album.
Yeah.
So
we just wanted this album for so long. We just, as much as we enjoyed Hove on it, we wanted more JLX. We wanted more JLX. Like,
because
we could get 10 more tracks and we'd still be complaining.
Yeah, no, and this is the thing. And Jay can talk like how JLX does to an extent, but I will say, because a lot of people think Jay-Z was better than JLX. I don't think that. I think JLX was more like, okay, if I could compare it, if I'm in the mood to hear Jay Electronica and I compare it to wanting something like, let's say, okay, I'm in the mood for ice cream, right? And JLX. So if I'm eating, if I eat ice cream and then it tastes like steak, then I'm like, oh, hold on, wait, this ain't right. Any other day, if I have my mind fixed on steak, then it's wonderful. But if I think that it's ice cream and then it tastes like steak, then it's like, oh, I don't like it at that point. And I'm not saying that's what Jay-Z was, but Jay-Z on Jay Electronica beats and stepping into Jay Electronica's world, it's not like I don't like Jay-Z. What he's saying, he's spitting on the jump, but it's not gonna be as perfect as how Jay Elect is going to be in that world. I'm
gonna tell you, I think what I'm gonna add to that is I had a friend of mine said to me, he said, this Kanye album, it's a good album. He says it's a good album. He said, but I feel like it's missing, shout out to Uriah. He said, I feel like it's missing, it's a good album, but he didn't feel the anointment. Okay, so
the gospel album?
On that gospel. So taking that to a JLX. JLX, very, very committed to his faith. I don't know what Jay-Z is. That ain't really my focus. But to put Jay-Z in the mid, I mean, he can rap. They can rap together, but you're not going to get the same anointment from the topic and focus of conversation, because that's not Jay-Z. Now, what Jay-Z is and why Jay-Z can rap with him and why he can rap at a level to be compatible on a song is because of who this Jay-Z that we are now experiencing, who he is. And I'm not going to say that he's someone that he wasn't, but it's been definitely since the Magna Carta came out, definitely since that. I'm not going to say that it wasn't before, because you can go all the way through the journey and catch pieces, but it was very much formalized. Like, I'm growing my hair. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm giving y'all this. And so I feel like while the general public of hip hop constituents, I feel like the reason why they can identify with Jay-Z's flow on the J-Elect album is because they can better interpret and understand it better.
Yeah. Oh, it's easier to digest.
There's a lot of parts of J-Elect where you got to go Google. You got to
right.
The Quran. Like,
Jay's easier. It's easier to digest Jay's lyrics.
Yeah. As hard as that can be, and think about that's saying a lot. But in comparison to J-Elect, if you don't know the Quran, if you don't know your history,
right.
If you don't know what's going on, if you ain't really woke, you might be woke. Like, there's a lot of still. I think that's coming. I think that is. I'm not gonna say it's negative, but I think that's the other side to it. Interpretation for some people was tough. That goes to Soldier's Son though. That's my favorite. That's my favorite one by far. By far.
If you didn't have no strap, you couldn't wear your necklace. I was like, yo, he was going in. You brought up Magna Carta, and I will say this, and then we can get back. Jay-Z's in my top 5. That's the disclaimer. Jay-Z did Magna Carta and 444 after he heard Nas do Life is Good. I will say that because Jay's always said, okay, I'm on my grown man and da-da, but he would kind of say it and then still kind of be in his volume 3 mode, if you will, like Big Pimp.
Him and Nas released their album on the same day.
I know. That's the thing. Like, but when Nas was talking about I'm gonna talk about marriage. I'm gonna talk about divorce. I'm gonna talk about family life, raising a daughter. Then Jay comes around the next go around, and then he does all that, and then. So Nas had Life is Good produced mostly by No ID, right? And then what does Jay do for 444?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh man.
Album produced by No ID. And what's it talking about? The same exact stuff Nas was talking about.
I forgot to mention something as you drop No ID. Okay. I'll make sure I touch on that before we get off. Look, so J-Elect, what do you give it? 1 out of 10.
JLX, I give it an 8.
You give it an 8? Okay.
Yeah, I give it an 8.
Do you think that? Do you feel that? I mean, we look at J-Elect like I don't know, he definitely a god within hip hop.
J-Elect is one of my influences. He's one of my influences.
So then, do you think there is what has been revealed to you? What has God revealed to you on behalf of your spiritual musical journey in regard to how you two have been brought together on at least 2 occasions?
Yeah.
There's got to be some meaning to that. There's got to be some purpose to that. Like, what have you came to conclude on that?
I really haven't ever seen that outside of him saying, hey, look, this is simply a manifestation of what I'm telling through you. Okay. So every time that I spit a verse in front of it, because the first one was in Made in America off the cuff. And then the second one was at Howard Theater 7 years later. I've always given glory to God in my tracks, and for all the people that see it, for all the people that see it on YouTube, or all the people that were at Howard Theater, or all the people that see it on Instagram or Twitter, that's it. That's it. Yes, he's an incredible rapper, and yes, I do this too. I've never really looked at it like, okay, like I need to get signed to this guy, because Jay Electronica has never ever shown any aims to trying to be a music mogul in that sense.
Yeah.
Have
you nurtured the relationship? Have you been able to nurture is it a relationship?
Not so much between me and him, but me and his DJ, we speak every now and then.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, shout out TJ the King.
Okay.
TJ the King. Yeah, man.
You mind dropping any names real quick on us, like with what we can? Well, I wanted to drop one. I didn't realize you got a track produced by Madlib.
You know what? That was no. I didn't.
You didn't?
Okay. It was that was a freestyle over that beat.
Okay.
It was a track over that beat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I would definitely love to though.
Oh, definitely. Well, I saw he was recently, maybe within the past 6 months, he was in the studio in LA with Fly Anakin.
Shout out to Fly Anakin.
Yeah, so it just basically shows that the reach is. We are all within reach of who knows.
Man, Randy, this is what I'm at. If you know Fly Anakin and you can set that up so we can get a trademark Fly Anakin and Madlib track down. I mean, that's what it is. I met Fly Anakin 2 years ago at a lyricist lounge, and I had already heard of like a song by him on SoundCloud, and this was after I performed and everything, and I met him, and then I was like, I was like, Fly Anakin, I was like, man, you sick, man. Da, da, da. I was like, you nice. He was like, you nice too, motherfucker. I was like, oh man. So it was cool.
Well, maybe now try to figure out. I don't have a relationship per se so much with them, but it's Virginia, and the way I approach things is like, hey, maybe this is the reason. Maybe this is the initiating purpose on behalf of. Well, I just need to reach out and extend it. Like that's how I feel about everything. I feel like at the end of the day, we have the ability to get to know anyone that we want to. It may not be easy, you know what I'm saying? But with social media, right, you can follow them.
Right.
You can stab away. You can stab away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he's we definitely got some mutual connections. So we'll look at it. So
definitely.
While we talk about Richmond, the last time I seen you perform at RVA Rap Elite, one of the verses you dropped was, the first artist to come through. You know what I'm saying? You created the out-of-state tax. I forget. I don't know. I can't say it nowhere near as clever. But kind of give me a take on the RVA Rap Elite. From the standpoint of. Let me just fast forward. I already know that you have respect for the platform. Anybody who's watching this podcast, you can look down my timeline. I have this episode where Trade's holding his belt, and he gives much respect to the platform. So definitely, guys, I know you have nothing but respect for the platform. But on the flip side,
shout out Radio B.
Shout out Radio B, curator of RVA Rap Elite, artist here in the city of Richmond, who's
brother in the faith too.
Just doing
brother in the faith.
Doing everything. I don't even know what to say. He's we've done podcasts before. He's just doing everything. But tell me, so you're building a fan base in different parts of the country, and I think RVA Rap Elite, Lyricist Lounge, that's been an opportunity for you to tap in here and begin building a fan base. But let's just get straight to it. But you're not going to. You ain't coming, like, you ain't been back lately. You know what I'm saying? You started the season off. You won. You got your bet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me back up. First off, I want your opinion on RVA Rap Elite Cypher, considering that you have won everywhere else you've rapped. Now, you've won RVA Rap Elite too.
Yeah.
But you've also
no. I've never won RVA Rap Elite. I won when it was called the Lyricist Lounge.
You won what?
I won when it was called the Lyricist Lounge, and it is different. I think there is a difference. There's a difference in the energy of Lyricist Lounge versus RVA Rap Elite, and I do think that I had a significant part in bringing the energy that created RVA Rap Elite, but my energy is more Lyricist Lounge though.
Okay. I got you.
It's not so much, okay, this is adversarial, like competition. Like, that's not really what I do. Mine is more so, I'm going to showcase my lyricism. And I mean, if you want to compare it to anybody, I mean, good luck.
Okay, I got you. So you went in that's why you got the belt.
Mm-hmm.
The red belt.
Yep.
Okay, I got you. For some reason, I thought that was like season 1, but I guess.
Yeah, it was season 1.
It was season 1. It wasn't called
RVA Rap Elite.
It was called RVA Rap Elite.
No. It was called RVA Lyricist Lounge in 2018. 2019, then it's called RVA Rap Elite. They changed the venues. I want to say
Champion Brewery is where I first heard you at.
Is Vintage the
Vintage A won. Vintage A's won.
He was MVP, right?
He won season 2.
Yeah, he was season 2 MVP, right?
He was season 1. You were season 1.
I was season 1, yeah.
It just was a different name. I got you. Okay. I guess that's what throws me off. But moving on to it.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about? So is there something consistent with the energy in Lyricist Lounge and the other competitions that you won versus the RVA Rap Elite?
You said, is there something consistent
with the energy? Because you said that you feel like Lyricist Lounge is more your energy in comparison to RVA Rap Elite, and I'm assuming it just has to do with the setup and I guess the focus in the cipher.
Yeah. Well, I mean, RVA Rap Elite and I would say the online tournament can really speak to this as well. It's more of a battling platform. Mm-hmm. And I've told I told a bunch of rappers at like radio and stuff. I told them a long time ago. I was like, yeah, I don't battle people.
You know what?
I don't battle people.
Yeah.
I don't battle people. I just don't have it. I don't have it in me to try to just break somebody down.
Yeah.
Say.
Yeah.
Like if I just spent a month just focusing on one person.
Yeah.
You know, with the English language at my disposal, then I mean, like I don't. That doesn't interest me really.
I got you.
Like I will quote JLX, like I'm fighting Satan. You know, I'm fighting sin. I'm not trying to really talk about other rappers.
I think the Rap Elite, the challenge that they had, the one that OZ won, I think you would have been great for that. I mean, you basically you did 100 of those.
Yeah.
You would have been really good in that. Is there?
Shout out to OZ. He was killing it.
Yeah. So we're gonna see you back at RVA Rap Elite stage anytime?
For sure. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Cypher? Cypher? Or performing?
Which? Yeah. Cypher.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's I'm a hoop. You know what I'm saying? I'm a hoop. You know?
Got you. All right, man. I'm glad to hear that, man. Obviously, you was on my team that first day opening season. And, that was an interesting one, though. That was an interesting one. It was an interesting one.
I don't care what nobody says. I should have won that one. My verse was miles ahead of everybody, and I rock with everybody there. But it is what it is.
Yeah,
it was ahead of everybody's, and I was the one spitting the most memorable lines at the event. They were using my lines afterwards. Oh man, trademark's wrong now. We do got cash prizes now. Like, come on, man. They robbed me, and then they said I had the 5th highest. Nah, Don't.
That's the part that bothered. The part that bothered me was that
the 5th.
I just feel like people want to see sudden death. People want to see. There's levels to it. There just ain't no one. I get mad when it's like one flow was just by far the best.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there could be those nights, but that night there was like 0.5 between the top 5. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it was top, but it was really close. I don't remember what the numbers was. And so to me, that was like reason for, hey, we may need to do another round here.
Man, and I had to leave immediately after that. I was sick. I was sick when I did that. I was sick for the entire month of January and part of February too. I think I had the coronavirus for real.
For real?
I think I had it. That jump was crazy.
Yo,
I can't say it was like a Jordan flu game or nothing because I didn't win.
I was gonna go there with the Fred the Godson line about Pippen carrying Jordan with Game 6. I forget, but let me ask you. So how do you compare RBA Rapid Weight to these other competitions in LA and New York and DC? How do you, as far as skill of artists and MCs, like where do you feel like it ranks?
Oh no, it's definitely Spitters in Richmond. Spitters. I mean, now RBA Rapidly is going to bring talent from all over Virginia, so it's Spitters in Virginia for sure.
Yeah,
it's some Spitters out there. I don't think anybody does what I do though.
Yeah,
you know that's not even a diss. That's just me expressing the fact that God has made every 7 billion of us uniquely and masterfully, you know?
Yeah. So, God's definitely done something with you, bro. God's definitely done something with you, man.
Praise God.
Became an instant fan. I caught you in that. I caught you in that 100. I don't know. You was probably up in the 40s or something when I caught you. And for those who are listening, man, if you haven't, do you have that any specific? It's on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Are all 100 on the Instagram?
Yes.
Then there you go. Go check it out.
They're still on my page.
Good. Go there. You go. I see you've been reposting some a little bit recently too.
Yeah. I mean, just reminiscing.
Yeah. What can we expect from Trade here as we're approaching the summer 2020 with your music? Do you have any? I mean, you have an album out right now, True. You know what I'm saying? This is fairly recent. But do you have any other things that you're planning? Any other? What's going on? I know you had shows that had to get canceled and things like that. But when are we gonna get more music? When we want more. We're in the time of more.
Yeah. No, we're definitely getting we're getting some more out. For now, I'm actually working on a lyric book right now to be able to put that out. I want there to be a tangible
That's what's up.
book that the people can really go through my lyrics and just be able to appreciate the poetry and just see it for the first time if they haven't ever seen it. Like my lyrics aren't on Rap Genius or anything, so I will be putting that out. And I'm always writing. I'm forever writing. That's why I did 100. I could have done 1,000, but I didn't want to really. There are some bars that like people might think is cool, but I'm hard on myself. So those were the 100 that I was cool with doing, But
gotcha.
I mean, I could have done 1,000 though.
That's crazy. So
but I mean,
you was always able to balance in these 10 years. You've always been able to balance your pen in because you're also a teacher. So like you've always been able to balance your pen in your art as well as your pen and your work and skills. Like you've always been as a student and everything.
Yeah. I mean, I've always been good at writing. Just period. I've always been good at writing. All the way back to 7th grade. Like I had this teacher. She was like straight out of a freaking Edgar Allan Poe novel. Like she was just wild, and she would really push me to just dig deeper in my essays and my reflection. And
Hey, who are your hip hop inspirations?
Hip hop, there are a lot. They're like a whole lot. I'm inspired by a whole array of artists, but for the most part, mine are more Nas, Tupac, Andre 3000, Lauren, J-Elect, Wayne. Yeah, they're Jay-Z. Even
You gonna say Jay-Z at like 7th or 8th? You gonna wait because you didn't Jay-Z's like after all those people though?
I'm not so Jay-Z talks about street stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a street rapper.
Yeah.
So the inspiration to be able to speak on the things I speak about come from people that are not coming from just okay, I'm gonna tell a story about the streets. Like I'm always gonna come from the street for something. Mm-hmm. So that's why mine is gonna be more 3 Stacks.
I got you.
Tupac. Even though Tupac did rap about the streets and stuff too.
Yeah.
I didn't play.
Another good example though.
I'm around it, but I didn't play a role in it.
He's another good example though. Like clearly he there was a spirit within him that was very visible. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
With Tupac.
Oh yeah.
But but nobody's called him. They just called him a rapper. You know what I'm saying? No one really started looking at Tupac all the way around as a man until after he died.
To me, Pac is the GOAT.
The GOAT?
Yeah, to me, Pac is the GOAT. To me, Pac is the GOAT. But that's just to me. I think Tupac he's the whole culmination of just the legacy of Black America. like it's crazy. Like Pac is, and he's actually an underrated rapper too. I think he's an incredible lyricist and writer also. Mm-hmm. Like his songwriting ability is miles and miles ahead of 95% of rappers.
So what can I squeeze out of you here before we close? What can I squeeze out of you? Like we want to know I want to know what's going on in the DM. What can we can you let any secrets out? Can you give our people anything that potentially anticipate? Can you give people anything that, there's some things I know there's some things that's moving with you right now, and there's some things that's on the horizon.
Yeah, for sure. I don't collaborate with a lot of artists. And it's not because I don't want to, but it's just because timing. Mm-hmm. Timing. But I do have a track with Mike Millions and First Price coming out. Mm-hmm. That's getting worked on right now. But but we're gonna put that out. And then it's gonna be even more stuff than that. I'm already working on my next project. We're gonna let True breathe, though. Let True breathe because
let them know right now where they can get True at.
You can get it on. First of all, if you go to my Instagram at TR3DEMARK, then you'll just find that in the link in the bio, and then it'll give you a whole bevy of platforms to get it on. So
I'm sat with it. I'm sat with it. When it first came out, I sat with it a lot. I haven't so much lately. I've been reminiscing heavy on Fred the Godson. I didn't listen to Fred the Godson as much when he was living. I mean, and I don't know what I was doing. I don't know what I was doing, man. Metaphor, I'm be honest with you. I think Fred the Godson just moved into my top 5.
Yeah, dang. Yo, Fred.
I'm talking about just based off lyrical, the way he puts words together, and
impeccable. Impeccable. That pen was nasty.
It's
nasty.
I mean, I still be catching. I'm like, did he just?
Yeah.
I mean, he just basically has blended the whole language into.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know. Right now I'm listening to a lot of Freddie Godson. I'm still listening to some JLX. I'm still going back to it every now and then. I listen to. I've been listening to like Noriega 5E. I mean, I just be going through different things. You know what I mean? I like Noriega.
Well, I'll tell you this though. I'll tell you this. If I could say my top 5 favorite right now, like in 2020, then I would say Pusha T's at the top of the list for me.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, JLX active right now too. JLX, Freddie Gibbs, and that's 3. I do like. I'll put. I think I'll stop right there for now.
We're talking active, right?
Yeah, just for right now. Just
yeah,
for
my active. See, Pusha's in it. It's just that he's active and inactive. Like, I mean, we got
Daytona.
I mean, I know, but I'm just saying, like, I want more. I mean, it ain't like it ain't like he's done a lot of features or anything since Daytona.
Yeah,
he's active. Pusha's definitely. I
still listening
feel like Push right now is in CEO mode though.
Yeah.
I just don't know. The way Push is, you might not get another album for 4 or 5 years. But he'll come with some features though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Push
that's fine.
Push. I like Fabulous. I just like
Really?
I just like his demeanor, his wordplay.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like he's an eclectic artist. Like I said, I'm a big Ho fan. After that, though, man,
you like Biggie's umbrella of artists.
Well, not solely, because after that I mean, I listen to a lot of Talib Kweli. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it really changes. I like that, and I like Rick Ross. And then after that,
Ross is dope.
But after that, it's like, I mean, it's the obvious people. You know what I'm saying? I love when I hear Jada on something, or I love if I hear Wayne on something. But after that, I'm not really. I listen to more underground hip hop music. You know what I'm saying? When I want to just kind of bring reference to the fact that I don't think no music is underground anymore. I feel like all music is above ground. It's just a matter of like if it's mainstream or, but I also think local is no longer a thing anymore. I mean, it's just where you live.
Yeah.
Because with the ability to use the internet, nobody is quote unquote local. You need your local area to create content, to enjoy the foundation,
Yeah. Instagram really made everything just a big it took the locality out of everything. Like it forced us to rid ourselves of our idiosyncrasies, like just I remember growing up before Instagram and stuff was popular, like I always took pride in the way that the DC area carried itself when it came to the culture. We were on go-go. Like it was go-go. Yeah, we were listening to everything too, but we took pride in listening to go-go and getting the CDs and going to go-go's and wearing DC brands, wearing DC and PG brands. Like everybody else was wearing Rockaware and stuff. Like we were wearing the clothes that people made around our way, and it was just, and we were wearing the shoes that nobody else was wearing. Oh, y'all wearing Timbs? Well, we're not wearing Timbs. We're wearing Nike boots. Y'all wearing Air Force One? Yeah, we probably will like 1 year, but then it's back to New Balances. So I think Instagram really changed that because I always said, and I still say to this day, like the DC area to me is the freshest area in the whole country. Right? When it comes to fashion. And even Kanye West will say, he said, man, I didn't even know, my fashion sense until I was living in the DC area. And he said that they were like joning on him and stuff. And now look at Kanye. Kanye's seen as the freshest rapper of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I think the internet kind of changed that because now you can see what everybody's wearing. At first, you couldn't see what everybody was wearing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yo, man, you definitely wearing.
Saw what people in DC was wearing.
You wearing that beard, bro. You like that thing. It's like you getting a little boof, man. You boofing, man. I've been growing this thing for over a year. It stopped growing 7 months ago. Man,
I wanted to keep it cut, but I mean, they closed down all the barbershops and stuff. So,
yeah, man, that's one thing that ain't grown on me. This is not grown, but this right here, it's the reason why I keep on messing with. Look, I ain't had hair in so long. It's itching, man, growing out. Like, it's not a good look, man.
Got the stubbles.
Betrayed, man. Oh, do I got stubbles? I mean, I ain't gonna go there. Betrayed. Make sure we let them know. TR3DEMARK on Instagram. Yes. It's not TRADE. It's not. It's not the grocery store. Okay. It's not Trader Joe's. It's TR3, and you can also find their website is TR3DEMARK.com.
Yep.
.com. Check that out. I see you got merch on there. I didn't know you had merch, bro. I need to tap in on the merch. I'm gonna get with you on that, man.
Yeah. So that's another thing too. I'm currently making it right now too.
Okay, cool.
That was another thing. I didn't want to outsource and then be paying like this other brand a whole bunch of money up front.
Yeah.
Just to not receive anything. So I just do it myself now. And when everything opens back up, then that's when I'll start pushing. Yeah,
well, I definitely want to get on that merch list because I like to wear clothes to support people that I'm in connection.
Nah, definitely. I'm gonna hook you up, man.
Yeah, man. So,
sure.
Definitely, man. Yo, I enjoyed this, man. I enjoyed this conversation, man. Anyone you want to shout out before we go?
Shoot. First of all, I mean, they already know, but all glory goes to God, first and foremost. Shout out to all the family that's going to see this, everybody that's known me as a kid and all of my embarrassing times and everything. Shout out to everybody that's joining on me right now as they're seeing this. And shout out to all my students. Shout out to my lady. And then just everybody that's listening right now, and has been supporting, whether you're new or have been supporting since day one. And I really appreciate you. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, before you close,
Chris Rich too, man.
Who's that?
Chris Rich.
Chris Rich, yeah.
Shout out to Chris Rich.
Chris Randolph Focus, the curator and the executive director behind this video tonight. Before we go, all the people you just shout out, make sure you let them know why they should rock with the Randy Wilson podcast.
Man, because you actually ask the questions that matter, right? You're not trying to dig all into all the frivolous, nonsensical details of my life, you know.
Oh yeah.
We're talking about things that can inspire people. You know, you're giving artists a platform to be able to answer questions that can help somebody out in this situation. And I always rock with that.
Well, I appreciate that, man. And as we close, I'll piggyback off that, and I'll say part of the theme that I wanted to accomplish in this podcast was that this brother can rap, like rapidy rap. He's a rapper's rapper, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that he is a devout Christian, that's just a part of who he is. And I feel like he's changing.
Not ashamed of it. Mm-hmm.
He's changing the viewpoint on behalf of how people now are understanding that there's quality, good music without having to talk about all these things. I like how you put a focus on people. You said it'd be if I just focus on a person for a month. He said, that's not stretching you. And I'm glad you're not the type of rapper, because if you wanted to be that type of rapper, it would probably change. It ain't a reflection of your character. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
But think about it. Putting all your emphasis on one person versus putting your themes on worldly things that matter, things that can transcend and impact others.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure we highlighted that. And then I felt like what was valuable from this conversation is that you've been an artist. you've had your foot in it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And you're still improving, and you're still developing, and you're still young, you're still evolving. So for those students who are listening right now, it's like,
shout out to them.
you know what I'm saying? Like, your teacher is still real cool. You know what I'm saying? Your teachers, you know what I'm saying? Your teacher's rubbing shoulders, and look, he was very modest today because I tried to pull some things out of him and he didn't say them, but I know like there's some things that's possibly, you know, that this guy is he's a vessel, and he's really just on a journey, and 10 years may seem like a long time, but it's a career. You know what I'm saying? This is a career.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's why I was talking about this today. Funny, it's a career. It's like this guy is on a musical journey and a spiritual journey.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's no telling really what the future holds. You know what I'm saying? If we can see you on stage with JLX in 2019, and then you were in 2012, 2011, then it's not unrealistic to think that we may not see you on the BET Cypher in 2021. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think this summer's done, but next summer, you know what I'm saying? If we reconvene back outside, the future, man, is
material.
You know what I'm saying? You know a lot of words too, bro. You read the dictionary, I bet, don't you?
I do. I do. A lot of people, this is the thing. A lot of people think I read a lot. I actually don't. Like, I don't read a lot of novels per se, but I do read a lot of articles. I read a lot of historical documents and stuff. Because I teach history. So that's why I'm so passionate about history, because you have to know your history in order to be able to determine what happens in your future. And the societies that do not have a knowledge of their history, they are that much easier to conquer. So
I can tell that.
So we got our history robbed from us for however long, until Carter G. Woodson was like, you know what, man, let's do this Negro History Week, right? So and I mean, go figure.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to your parents. I think I was raised. I think my parents, I think they, nobody's perfect, but, I think they definitely had the right intentions and motives and, to set values and things. So I just feel like I have the ability to identify someone that's been raised. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've been raised well, man. Shout out to your parents. Because your parents may check this out, man, and they definitely,
blessings to them.
They, and for those young people that's watching, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Recognize why it's important that you listen to your parents. You know what I'm saying? Or you listen to the individual people that's been put in your life to guide them on you. You know what I'm saying? Sure. Because you never lose those things in your journey. Mm-hmm. That's one thing Trade has not lost in his journey. With regardless of all the things in the world that can influence him, he's always stayed true. Another key piece of this, he stayed true to himself. And it sells. It sells because the bars spit where they spit. But you also have a way with people. You know what I'm saying? In regard to where I feel like I see how you can build fans. I've seen your social media. I done picked up friends just based off talking to you. You got sponges. You got some leeches out there.
Yeah. I know it don't mean nothing, but it's some of my followers. They be like, hold on. Who is that? Like some of the women followers, they be like, oh, get me in contact with Randy. And you can cut that part out.
That's cool.
I be like, hey, I don't know.
Yeah, man. Look,
they be hitting me up though.
Hey, well, I'm a married man, and my wife don't even watch the podcast.
Yo, this is your hobby. This is your blessings toy. Blessings to you, man.
Appreciate it, man.
You're doing it. You're the family man.
Yeah, man.
That's the hardest thing in society right now, is being a Black father that's really out here protecting and providing for his kids and for his wife and kids. Because people be talking about people's kids like their spouse don't matter. No, your wife and then your kids.
Yeah.
Let's
You
get
said
the
it.
order right.
We just trying to be the best people we can.
Absolutely.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like you. Like, I used to call myself a sinner and a saint, and then I met this highly spiritual brother that made me realize, like, stop claiming it though. Yeah, we all sin. We
Yeah.
all sin. But because I have an issue, and I'm gonna close on this. I have an issue. Like, there's some people who walk around and it's like they have on their forehead before you see them Christian. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
Versus allow people to see you and be able to understand and walk away and knowing that's a good brother, right? So like I used to say sinner and saint because I feel like, man, my view on behalf of who I want to be, really, like who I desire to be. I mean, I show it every day, but like my view on what a Christian is, I still, fall so short a lot of time. So I don't like that. I think labels conceal more than they reveal. I don't like the title of anything, but I like Kanye said something's gonna be explained, others need to be experienced. I like the experience, so I stopped claiming the center title because that's just an experience that we go through in dealing with life obstacles, and so the saint, we all saints at the end of the day.
And this is the thing too, when when one, and I'm just saying that scripture goes along with what you say, when one actually, and I promise this ain't no sermonette, but when one actually accepts Christ's sacrifice for their sin, then what you do now is he's the one that's clean and you're the one that's unclean. But when you accept that, you trade your rags for his clean, and then now God sees you in the way that he is. So, so I don't see you as a sinner anymore. Yes, I know you have sinned and everything, and I will judge you for that, but I've already exhausted my judgment onto my son. He's already paid that price. Right? He's already paid that price. So now that you have accepted that, go ahead and do what he says and tell more people about it. And that's why I'm like, yes, I feel you. You're not a sinner in Christ. You have graduated from a sinner to a saint, and you don't look back. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just a beautiful thing, man.
Yo, man, I think you might need to have a Sunday service on IG Live Sundays.
Man.
Trey, we're gonna get on IG Live. Not sometime before it comes out, we'll figure out strategically how we want to do that. But it's been a pleasure to have you on. I could keep going, but you know what I'm saying? I got to get upstairs. Got a family.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Hey, I don't be putting all that stuff in social media. I don't, because everything ain't meant to be public. And one thing that I take real serious is my family, and
I know.
I just put it out there in the public, and I'm creating reasons for defense, and protection. So it's like, unless you know me, you don't need to know. I made a post about that the other day, just because I don't believe in fictitious relationships. Like, look, there's levels to knowing people. You know what I'm saying? Part of the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm trying to dive deeper in exercise and communication, so that I can better know people, but I can also create a platform where people can come and absorb information about the people that they want to know. So people are watching the podcast because of you or I. You know what I'm saying? And they will learn more about us through this. Some people will listen to the first 20 minutes. Some people will listen to the whole thing. Some people will listen and come back, maybe watch it and get in the car and put on the Spotify. Hey, to each his own. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like my old man said, it's a lot of crumbs in the loaf of bread. So you just got to figure out, are you the loaf? Are you a piece? Like, you got to get in where you fit in,
Right.
But, look, look, man, y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to the Randy Wilson podcast on YouTube.
Absolutely.
And everywhere else. If you're a podcast person, RandyWilsonPodcast.com, Randy Wilson Podcast on Instagram with some underscores. Yo, trademark I am 3D, right? I am
TR3.
I say it again.
I am TR3.
Yeah,
Yep.
I am TR3. DEMARK. Man, it's been a pleasure to have you, bro.
Man, it's definitely been a pleasure, man. Thank you so much.
Man, we'll do it. When we get back outside, we're gonna do something else, though.
Yes, sir. Oh yeah. Yeah, you already know.
All right, man. Y'all tune in again. This is episode 37 of the Randy Wilson Podcast.
All right.